Because of COVID-19 and the switch to digital learning, the goal that Catherine and I had set for her in the identify phase was unfortunately no longer relevant. So instead, I asked if there was a specific tool she would like to learn more about and implement in digital learning. She expressed that she would like to learn more about Nearpod because it's a resource that our county was just granted access to. So during our most recent coaching session, I went through and explained each of the features to her, and she made a plan to implement Nearpod into one of her lessons the following week. Okay. All right. Well, thanks for meeting with me today.
Yeah,
How have things been going?
they've been going well, just chugging along. Every day seems like the same day.
I know, it literally does. But I mean, we have less than a month of school, which is kind of weird to think about.
Yeah, that's true. We'd be on like our summer countdown by now.
Yeah. But so last time we met, we looked at Nearpod and I kind of showed you some different features of that. And we left with you were going to try incorporating it into one of your lessons you've been using for digital learning. So you want to tell me about how that went?
Yeah, so I did a math lesson with it, and we were doing area with fractional sides, which is they're finding area of figures using and the like measurements of each side are fractions, which
Okay.
brings back fractions for them, which is a little bit more difficult for them
Mm-hmm.
to go back in their filing cabinet to pull that out. And a lot of what I did a few slides and then had a quiz. And I started out pretty simple and just had 4 questions just to kind
Okay.
of do like a formative little quick check with my kids. And just I hadn't used it before and they hadn't used it before. So just to kind of get them used to doing it. And it worked out well. I do like that I can see afterwards, the
Mm-hmm.
report. I can see that they went through all the slides and how they did on the quiz,
Okay.
and what they answered and stuff. So I do like that. I can see that all my kids did at least get on and do some of it, that they had 100% participation. And then I can also see how they did on the quiz
Mm-hmm.
and what answers how many kids got the answer right, how many kids got the answer wrong, so that when I do my math help sessions, I can kind of go back over those problems that were missed more, or either like, put that skill back into like future lessons.
Yeah. Do you mind if I see, can you share your screen with the Nearpod that you used?
Yes. Okay, so here is so I was just looking at the reports.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the report. Here's the overall summary. So you can see there all the kids, that's 0%. That's my co-teacher, so she didn't go on to it. And then this one's 75. I'm assuming that one, not sure what happened there. But that was only 24 students. That's how many I have. Actually, there is one name that is not on here. But he has not been doing work for me at all this entire digital learning time. So that's pretty consistent. And he's doing some other stuff that's non-digital
Gotcha.
due to his circumstances. So
Mm-hmm.
he's not on there. And then here in this column, I can see the results of the quiz.
Okay.
So what I did like about it too is I was just playing around and went to the quiz,
Mm-hmm.
and you can look at the question, and if you do those, but then you can expand each question, and then it gives you the graph of how many got it right, how many got it wrong, and then it also gives you like the individual report of
Oh, good. Yeah.
what each kid answered
Mm-hmm.
for that. So I can see what the question was, and then I can see what they answered, which is nice.
Yeah, that is really
Got it
nice.
right and who got it wrong. Just so that I know, like 75% got it right, 21 got it wrong, 4% didn't have an answer.
Mm-hmm.
So I would think if they didn't have an answer, that means they didn't know the answer.
Okay.
And they skipped it. for that. But I do like the data that it gives me in certain things like that. And I do like the fact that I know it provides the kids with how they did,
Mm-hmm.
which is nice to see with that. And I
Yeah.
like how I didn't embed like any other programs or anything in the Nearpod lesson this time. I
Mm-hmm.
did play around and look at some of those features. But I do plan like for next time to like put in, I like that you can put a vocabulary or like other little
Right.
videos and that it's all embedded in there. And so the kids are just going through the Nearpod lesson instead of like clicking through 10 different things.
A bunch of different things. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems like it went really well.
Yeah, I
when
really
I
liked it.
first
And the kids did really well with it too, for it being a new
tool.
a new tool. I only had one question about how to get in, but it's
Okay.
a kid that always has the question. So
Right.
there was a user error in that.
Okay.
But other than that, it was like really seamless.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So, what are you so you said you might try and do something with like embedding vocabularies and things like that.
Yeah, just like this was more of just like a quiz. So I think my
Uh-huh.
next one would probably be more of like a teaching lesson where I could
Okay.
put like a video in there and then, show problems and then with like that they could like do some guided practice along with it and then like have, a little quick check exit ticket at the end. Kind of like, I could put almost like what I would normally teach like on the smart board.
Right.
I could put in the Nearpod lesson.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. What subject were you thinking of using it with?
I'll probably stick with math.
Math. Yeah, that's kind of what I feel like it works really well with, just because, and especially I love that they get the immediate feedback.
Yeah, I like it too. And I like how I can see their progress on it.
Mm-hmm.
I could assign it over, certain slides on certain days and have
Yeah.
one like continuing lesson
Uh-huh.
for that.
Yeah. Do you feel like you really ran into any roadblocks at all with it?
Not really. I mean, the website was really user friendly and easy to
Okay.
use. I liked that. A lot of my stuff is already in Google Drive with Google Slides and stuff, so that was easy to
Mm-hmm.
import it from. And I mean, it was very step by step and pretty
Yeah.
like intuitive and how to use it and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty user friendly, a lot more user friendly than some other resources are.
Agreed.
And to like give instructions to the kids and teach them how to use a digital resource, not face to face with them. Sometimes that can be difficult, but
Mm-hmm.
they make it really easy. Like all the kids need is they just need to log, with having Clever, they were able to log in through there and then they just needed the lesson code.
That's awesome. Yeah, it seems like
Yeah,
it
I
went
really
really
like
well. Have
Yeah.
you had a chance to look through, because you made this one, have you looked through any of the ones in their library at all?
Haven't looked through those. That would probably
Yeah.
be like my next to see like what's in their library and then I
Yeah.
could take and edit those.
Yeah. I think this is, if you go to the Nearpod library, or wait, no.
Nearpod one or the district one?
that one. Mm-hmm.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, they have a bunch in there.
Yeah.
And I don't know, sometimes I feel like with resources that have these pre-made lessons, they were kind of hit or miss. But the ones that I looked through they were pretty good. I was pleasantly surprised. So that might be something you could look
I
for.
hope thereby, like, teachers, and especially with like Common Core, we're all kind of teaching the same standards.
Yeah.
And I can see like Learn Zillion and stuff has done their own lessons and like
There's a lot of those.
some of their videos before.
Yeah. The only thing I did realize with Learn Zillion is, I've only used one of them so far, but to double check the answers to the problems, because one I used, there was an incorrect one. And I had a couple of kids that were messaging me confused. So I was like, well, let me check on that.
I mean, when they see their grade, they're like, oh no. And I've told them so many times, y'all, if it's a computer error, you won't be counted off.
Exactly. Like, you're not going to get in trouble for it.
Right.
But yeah, that was the only thing I noticed with the pre-made lessons, just to cross-check
Yeah,
it.
I really like it. It's a good resource. I'm really glad I found it. And I think even like next year, hopefully when we go back to school normally, it will like it's something I get still used to when we do stuff in like the computer lab or even like doing the teacher paced
Uh-huh.
um, Nearpod like lesson too, just to like have all my stuff in one area. And it looks pretty easy to share like between other teachers and stuff too.
Mhm.
Because we do team planning.
Uh-huh.
So that'd be nice too to easily share it with others.
Definitely. Yeah, one of the things because a lot of these resources I just never really use because we have technology, but like it's not enough for every single kid to do
Right.
it.
Right. And now it's like easier
Mhm.
because they all have to have their own piece of technology that didn't require
Seriously.
the school to provide it.
Yeah, and it's like I want to keep using a lot of these next year,
Mm-hmm.
but we're gonna have to go back to not having all the
Maybe
technology.
the kids will just bring in because I know a lot of them have gotten laptops and stuff out of this.
That's actually very true. Like a lot of my kids in their conferences this week were talking about how they felt like they were awful with technology before, and now they've had to like get better at it.
A
So,
lot of them commented, they're like, a lot of the stuff I've seen my parents use, like Zoom
uh-huh.
and Teams, and like it's like been like they've seen their parents use it and communicate with it, and now like they feel more adultish, like them getting be able to use it and stuff like that, and
Yeah,
like they like that they have stuff to do on the computer that's not just like fun.
exactly. Yeah, and a lot of them like they were talking about like typing, like they were like it's still hard for me, but now I can actually like type a sentence and it doesn't take me like 4 minutes.
Yeah, I gave some of mine typing practice one day just to
Mhm.
like, get them like,
Get them, yeah.
used to typing more. I
Yeah.
mean, they definitely over the past couple of years have been more used to it and they were more digitally inclined, but a lot
Mhm.
of them, their digital, I guess, like experience was with like a phone or an
Right.
iPad and like not with an actual like keyboard,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
with like how to formally type correctly.
Mhm. Definitely. Well, I'm glad that you liked the resource and you feel like it's benefited you and your kids.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
definitely. Thanks for
yeah.
sharing.
Oh, of course. Happy to. But yeah, so I guess just, let me know how it goes when you start implementing it into other subjects and like if you
Okay.
start adding in other things and just kind of seeing how that goes.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll let you know.
All right. Sounds good. Thanks for meeting with me today.
Sure. Anytime.
All right. Bye.
Bye.